All right, everybody, welcome in. This is Why Superman Sucks. I know it has been a long time since we posted last. Life has happened. I made the move. Ollie had the sex change. It's been wild.
Yep.
So, with that, though, remember this podcast consists of myself, Mitty, we have Ollie, we have Shadow, and we have DK. But today, Shadow and DK are pretty busy, so we had to call in some guest judges. I talk about the Discord a lot and the Twitch. So we brought over from the Discord, we have Raider B and Stinky Pinky. Say hello.
What's
What's
up,
up?
everybody?
So, we have a pretty fun few videos coming up for you. I can't wait to start putting more content out. Remember, you can check the Twitch out. You can check the Discord out. We'll get links for you guys at the end of all the videos. Let's get this started. Here we go. All right, everyone. Here we are. Back at it. On what's the spite match. All right, honestly, but you got to have these every once in a while because if your buddies feel like they're losing, they're just never going to debate you again. But I'm terrified. I am absolutely terrified. We have Raider and Stinky here as judges today. I've got a pretty interesting guy. Ollie's got a really interesting guy. My guy really does one thing and one thing well. So we're going to leave it up to you.
You explain what that one thing.
Bonk. We bonk. We bonk. We bonk. Better than everybody. My guy is Rick Gladiator from the Asan Newbie Adventurer, trained to death by the most powerful party, became invincible. All right. Rick is 32 years old and becomes an adventurer. And in the world that he's from, that's very uncommon. 32 is too old to be adventuring. He's a clerk that decides he's had enough, and he's going to go embark on his dream of being an adventurer. And along the way, he ends up learning that he has a very unique ability that we're just going to call a limit breaker for now. But essentially, however much weaker he is than his opponent, the limit breaker takes him, we'll just say exponentially. Like they don't quantify it with a number. He just gains an unlimited amount of strength to keep him going forward. As a matter of fact, the first time it happens, he one-shots a dragon. One shot, just hits the dragon is dead. That's it. And then he takes a nap for like a week. So the strongest guild in the world, like in this whole world, Orichalcum Fist is their name, take him in and they train him. And essentially the training that he gets is they keep killing him and bringing him back. And every time he comes back, he gets stronger, is essentially what happens. So basically, the best way to describe the feats and the abilities of this man is he bonked. He bonked so hard that he broke the bonk, and then fixed the bonk, and then made the bonk more broken, and then turbocharged the bonk and broke the bonk, and then came back as the master of the bonk. And then when he thought that he hit the limit of mastering the bonk, he was proven wrong, and the bonk died and was resurrected and was above God level bonk. So we bonk. The person, the party was training him so that he would be the perfect match for their leader, who is an orc. And in the and orcs in this world, I assume this is how all orcs are. They live for the fight. That is their whole existence, and their leader is the strongest of all the orcs. So he goes around with
He's also the smartest.
Yes, thank you. He goes around with no equal except for Rick, who is trained to become his equal, and really proves it in their actual big fight. Is able to go toe to toe, keep up with him, and win in the end. It was a win,
By
wasn't
default.
it?
He wins by default. Bronson still won the fight, but by default,
a win is a win.
Rick won.
A win is a win. He survived so many. Like, the best way to describe the hits that he took was the force of what's the biggest nuke we have? 500 megaton, something like that.
Star Bomba.
Yeah, yeah. It's like just casually taking several of those to the face and was able to keep standing and keep going. Oh, don't get me wrong. He was hurt. He was hurt and he felt it at the end of that fight. But he persevered and kept moving. And that's what I have for Rick. Rick has bonk, bonkety bonk 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 bonk. That's what he's got. Ollie, take it away.
And my character is Sid Kagano from the Evanescent Shadow, also known as Shadow, also known as uh John John Snow, I believe was no John Smith, also known as the Mundane Man, and also known as Jack the Ripper. He is he's a kid from Japan who gets reincarnated into a world with magic. Isekai, basic isekai trope. However, whenever he was in Japan, his life goal was to be a shadow broker, like some sort of super powerful shadow boss that controlled the entire world. And he trained from a very young age in all sorts of swordsmanship and martial arts disciplines like karate, mixed martial arts, wrestling, grappling, fencing, kendo, all sorts of other stuff from a young age, and kept training himself physically to keep himself in peak condition all the way throughout his childhood and into his teenage years through middle school. And then he also did a whole bunch of like meditative stuff and all that, and it led him to the realization that his dream goal was to be able to withstand a nuke. As a normal human being in the normal Earth that we live in, not really possible. So he decides to isekai himself and gets reborn into a world with magic, and he still kept his memories from being a junior high kid in Earth, and with that he was able to continue on his training well into his uh, childhood as Sid Kaganu, and he was born into a family of dark knights, is what they're called in his world, where they fight with swords and they fight with magic, primarily magic, but as unrefined as the um, skills that take place in on Earth. And with that, he's able to become one of the strongest swords fighters in his world, one of the strongest in martial arts, and he also is very, very strong in magic. With his magic, he's able to he came up with this like slime body armor stuff that he's able to wear that he's able to fortify and make stronger. He's able to make himself faster, make himself stronger, make himself have faster reflexes. And his magic is so far encompassing that it took um, if he wanted to, he could blow up the entirety of the capital city with one blast with his nuclear magic. He finally found a way to become a nuclear bomb himself. And with it, he is uncovered a plot about the Demon King being resurrected, quite by accident, because Sid is very oblivious whenever it comes to anything that is not battle. And so he comes up with this whole story based off of a book he read as a child, and it turned out to be an actual thing of history. And what he ends up doing is he ends up running his own shadow broker organization known as Shadow Garden, and he is the most powerful of it all. Some of his feats that he has, he was able to go fight and win against one of the strongest high schoolers um, in the where is it? Oh, it's not going to show on here, but in the current city that he's in, as well as one of the strongest sword fighters in the world that he's in, known as Beatrix, who is also called the Sword Goddess. And he fought them brutally to stand still. He was so fast that he took a step, and before Beatrix, the Sword Goddess, could blink, think, or move, or even before her heart could even beat, disappear in front of her eyes and appear behind her to attack. As for some of his nuclear magic that he has the regular I am atomic, which is concentrated into a sword, leading to a devastating subsequent strike. The impact releases an explosion of magic that disintegrates everything caught inside of it. He has the all-range atomic, which is an area of effect atomic magic modification. It's stuck into the ground, discharging power in a set radius around the insertion point. He also has the atomic sword, which he's able to elongate his weapon, which he uses his slime as well, into a single horizontal strike that bisects everything in the sword sweeping arc. He has something called the atomic locust shell, which is 9 strikes of his sword that is used in order to um, consume parts of his enemies. And then he also has atomic rain, in which he takes a slime and then throws it up in the air as like a bombard type magic ability. He has atomic radar, which allows him to perceive his surroundings. And then in the games, he also has the rising atomic, which is just an upward beam, and then the archetype atomic, which is just like the all range atomic. As for his martial arts, guard has advantage as his throws and guards can be made irrelevant. Other there's no mistakes. He can the practice of hand-to-hand techniques. Unarmed combat has been noted as his specialty, but there are a few instances where he gets to exhibit his confidence. Melee skirmishes are the predominant form of warfare, but Sid incorporates multifarious striking techniques into personal swordplay.
Bonk.
And then also, because he likes to play as a shadow broker, he has also developed a set of techniques in order for him to kind of meld into the background and become more of like a background character. Some of the named normie techniques that he has used is called the spinning guard bloody tornado, which after receiving an attack, the individual reels back in a spiral aerial course, trailing blood behind him. For added effect, add additional blood while on the ground. The blood is kept in containers and secretly opened during the fight. He has a whole bunch of different normie techniques that he can use in order to become, to like, sell the part of being a normal background character, despite being the protagonist of the show. It's hilarious in the anime.
I would like to point out real quick that this guy will take and make up in his mind fake scenarios to send his crew off to, only for them to end up actually being things that happen.
Yes, very true.
Like,
In one of the earliest scenes of this happening, his sister gets kidnapped, and his organization comes up to him and is like, "This is the list of places where um, these people have bases in which she probably is." So Sis says, "No, she is actually right here," and just throws a little slime dagger into the map, and completely misses anywhere on the map. However, or completely misses any of the other spots, and it actually ends up being right where Sid said it was. To the point.
First question.
Yep.
He beat up a high schooler?
ha! I win on morals.
Who beat up a high schooler?
Or is there something about this high schooler that like it
Oh, so it was in terms of like why he got into a fight with the high schooler, whatever her name is, not Alexia, Iris Midgar. The reason why he fought this high schooler was because in a tournament, they had a tournament. It was like the Bushin Sword Festival, is what it was called. And he pretty much had faked his identity. This is where the mundane man identity comes from, the other persona. He faked his identity in order to become a part of the tournament, but not be either Sid Kagano or Shadow. In the final battle between Mundane Man and Iris, he handedly beats Iris, and then also reveals himself to be Shadow at the very end due to some situations that happened with another, with a princess of one of the kingdoms in the world. And it leads to a fight between Shadow, Beatrix, and Iris. Iris using an artifact that is a sword that wields incredible power. And Iris is also the captain of the royal guard in the capital city. that they're in. So that is why that leads to that fight.
Okay. And then second question, MIDI,
Bonk.
invincible?
In terms of the average person in the world that he's from, does not have the means or the power to kill him.
Okay.
Well, outside of his
Yeah,
clanmates.
I said
who've done so repeatedly.
I said the average person. His his party members they're all the strongest adventurers in the world. In the world, there is no one above them. It is made very clear in that they are the absolute strongest party in his world. The limit, that's them. That's them. That's everybody's goal, is to be as powerful as Orichalcum Fist and their members. And the no one else below them has, like, it's been shown multiple times. His fight in the Colosseum with the dragon lizard man, who is supposed to be this prodigy that has no upper limits to the growth of his skill, barely leaves a scratch on him in the fight. As a matter of fact, what really got the attention of the lizard man was the fact that in mid-fight against his lady friend, Rick's lady friend, Rick throws his sandal and knocks the lizard guy off course. He's going to hit the chick in the face to kill her. The sandal hits him in the face, and it's with enough force that it spins him around and stops him from his attack. Just a sandal. Also bonk.
And then some other things that Sid can do. He also, due to his magical reinforcement and augmentation, is able to actively assist him in surpassing the limits of the average human body. And while it's not noted as his maximum speed, there is a documented numerical value of his speed of 746 miles per hour. And then he also his main defensive strategy is to dodge or parry with quick, minute movements. However, unavoidable attacks are often tanked by magically reinforcing armor and body parts so that they can disperse the force of the attack or to just completely block it. Unavoidable attacks are also occasionally endured to crush the opponent's spirits. As early as 6 years old, he used fortification techniques to overcome past life difficulties, a massive strength disadvantage. There's typically a limitation on how much force can be exerted on a child's body, but Sid pushed past it, allowing for such feats as shattering metal as young as, I believe it was 8 years old actually, was whenever he first shattered metal as a 6-year-old. In later years, he withstands powerful attacks, resists lethal poisons, can become impervious to modern firearms, and then if damage occurs, purposeful or accidental, Sid has also developed the ability to heal severe injuries for himself or others. The skill has evolved from increasing the body's natural healing capabilities to regenerating damage at the cellular level. He also has intricate magic repair control to allow for internal manipulation that can move or repair vital organs. And he's also calculated that his life can last up to 600 years, but he's not happy with that. He wants to be eternal.
So to help with the complexity of that, in these fights, we are not looking for a to the death. All of the fights can come down to either the first knockout or death. Those are the two outcomes that you'll look into when it comes to the fights. Because there are some versus matches where you have just characters that can't die. So it comes down to a knockout.
And your guy can bonk and chunkle a hit, apparently.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He has access to magic. He's not the greatest with magic until his Limit Breaker activates, which is called Reckless Soul. When his Reckless Soul activates, he has full mastery of his magic abilities, and the mage that trained him is, again, everyone in that party is the strongest in their skill, in their class, in the world. So he was trained by the strongest magician in the world, to the point to where he can take basic level spells and turn them into catastrophe level spells.
And then my question, for those who don't know, like myself, Ollie, when you say he isekai'd himself, what does that mean?
He killed himself in order to be reincarnated into another world.
Gotcha. Okay.
All hail Truck Coon!
So I guess first question, or well, not first because I already asked a couple, but um, obviously this guy outpowers him, outlevels him, and so therefore Limit Breaker comes into effect.
Yep.
It will eventually.
Okay.
So
And
I
Limit
will
Breaker
say,
has no limit.
We have in the short for it, because I don't remember if it's a manga or if it's a webtoon, but I know from what I've read up on it and what I've watched on it, we have not seen him be outclassed when Limit Breaker activates.
and then as for Sid's magical abilities that may be able to counteract that, he has gone toe to toe with a vampire queen who is able to turn about 80% of an entire city into her thrall, uh, as well as no one else was able to touch her, and she was still asleep. It was only until Sid showed up that she finally woke up and started fighting for real. And even then, she wasn't able to touch Sid outside of whenever he wanted her to. And he got so pissed off, he actually just straight up healed them all with his atomic abilities. Yeah, he calls it I am atomic, and it looks like an atomic blast every single time, but they all have different abilities based off of what he wants it to do. Like in the fight with versus Iris and Beatrix, he summoned up an atomic blast that was so large that it encompassed the entirety of the capital city, which would be um, just going based off of the images that I saw and all that stuff, about as big as say Chicago, maybe bigger.
Okay. Okay.
And he encompassed all of it, showing that if he wanted to, he could have blown up the entirety of the capital city. In other instances where he's used the atomic blast to full power was in a fight at the very end of the anime before he got sent back to Earth. Strange things happen. He was fighting a super, super strong and powerful enemy, and he ends up taking that enemy into space. And the atomic blast that he went off was so bright and so large that it could be seen from far out in space and took the place of the sun on their world for about 30 seconds.
Oh yeah? Well, my guy bonks, so...
What your guy do again?
Bonk! He bonk! All he do is bonk. That's all we have. Well, bonk and sometimes spell, but spell bonk too. Let's see. Durability, Ollie.
Durability. So in terms of durability, he has trying to think of different attacks that he tanked. He was able to, whenever he went up toe to toe with one of the original heroes of their world, which was turned out to be a fabricated lie based off of uh, the demon cult that they were fighting against. He was significantly. He practically had no magic power, so he had to condense it all into his eye as much magical power, and he just kept condensing as much magical power as he could into his eye. And whenever he finally released it, he was able to go toe to toe with the hero Olivier. Haha, very funny where I get my name, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And he he took a blow straight to the heart before going atomic and blowing up the entirety of the little lab that they were in, and still lived
What was the
because he moved.
the force of the blow?
The force of the blow was enough to pierce his heart. It was just a regular sword stroke. As for outside of that, he has taken blows and punches from Beatrix and Iris themselves, who were extremely strong, as well as just completely absorbing attacks as a normal human being from his sister, who is said to be stronger than him in sword fighting. And as well as whenever, I'm trying to think of what else he's also done. Because it's not really shown how he hasn't taken very big hits because he's been faster and been so far out. He outclasses everyone else in his fights. There's not really been a time in which he just straight up took a hit that was strong enough to take him out just for the sake of shaking up their psyche. The closest I could probably get was whenever he no, I don't really have anything outside of in terms of like him taking some heavy hits. Is yeah, there was one where his first atomic where he should have taken a hit from the guy he was fighting, but the sword shatters on Sid's skin because he used his magical reinforcement to block the attack. As John Smith, he was a super secret agent that used wires and threads to attack as compared to swords. Yeah, no, not really. Whenever it comes to an attack that he doesn't want to hit, he just kind of dodges it. Or parries it.
All right. Closing questions from the judges.
I do not believe I have any further questions.
No.
Stinky?
Yeah, I pretty much think I covered over everything I questioned so far.
Okay. Judges down to the judges area, please. 5 minutes.
Okie dokie.
Oh, so I have two things that I can count on that might give me a minor edge, and that is I bonk and durability.
Or, the fact that you told them to always make me lose.
It was a joke. And hey, guess what? If they adhere to it, this is gonna make this video really funny. Okay. But that's intriguing that you never see Shadow really take a hit, because that's kind of a huge thing in a fight.
Yeah, he's taken hits before, but they're not like huge, super strong hits.
Not
They've
like
been hits that he.
Bronson punching you in the face repeatedly and you just keep going at it.
Yeah, no, he hasn't gone toe to toe in that type of way where it's just all out attack. He's been proficient in blocking, parrying, and counterattacking those attacks. I mean, unless it hasn't been said that his atomic blast deals damage to himself, has any sort of rebound effect.
That's wild. So like the top speed that they threw down, it's not even Mach 1. It's under it.
So they said that's not his max speed.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, but like what they've quantified, because like 1,000 miles per hour is Mach 1.
Yeah, no, it's not noted as his maximum speed. The only documented numerical value that he has is 736 miles per hour.
Which is crazy, because normally they just go with faster than light, or as fast as light,
Well, they pulled this from the manga.
Okay. So in the manga, he's fast, but he's not like speedster fast.
No, he's very close to speedster fast. I mean, you got to think he was able to take a step and disappear in front of someone and appear behind them before they could blink.
Mm-hmm.
Before they can even think.
Yeah, Rick would just take that hit. But again, look at who he was trained by.
Yeah. Also, though, keep in mind, Rick was trained to fight against blunt force trauma.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, not really.
Have you seen him take a sword attack?
Yes.
What did it do to him?
Nothing.
Did it cut him?
No, because he's good with a sword. I wouldn't say like a master swordsman, but no, I would have to say that. I have to keep reminding myself everybody in that party is a master of their craft, and he
Yeah,
learned.
and Rick
Go ahead.
isn't a swordsman. He's more of a monk.
Yeah, I would give you that, but he was trained in everything: magic, hand-to-hand combat, sword play. Like he was trained in everything.
Who taught him swordplay? None of them were proficient in swordplay.
The fucking what's his name?
Maid taught him control.
Yes, no, the other dude, the skinny dude, the smaller dude.
The artificer,
Him.
who taught him control of his magic. He taught him precise control of his magic. The red-haired mage taught him to blow shit up. Bronson taught him how to throw a punch, and then the maid taught him to control his punches in order to strike through something.
Okay, makes sense. You're making sense. However, look, I'm okay. I know I'm gonna lose this. There is no logical reason that I should fucking win. Okay, all right, you fucking unwad your panties right now. The only thing that gives me some kind of maybe an edge is the fact that anytime that he's entered the limit breaker mode, we haven't seen him lose. That is the only thing.
Also, Mitty, by the way, if you said that your guy wins on morals, no, he doesn't. He's about to fight a high schooler himself.
No, that's fair. But don't tell them that.
Like, Sid is still in high school.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they decide. All I have is bonk. That's really it. Like again, like magic, he is more than capable of using magic. He doesn't like to use it. But we've seen him take like basic magic and turn it into like god tier shields and stuff, like impenetrable shields. So, here we go.
All right.
This was a good one. This was a good one.
Last time it was a pretty unanimous, and this one we had some serious conversations about.
Okay, well, hit me with it and why.
So we're gonna go Shadow.
Yep, I figured as much.
Just the laundry list of abilities and feats alone. Bonk, just don't bonk.
We will admit that the limit breaker was the wild card in this decision, but I don't think, you got basically a limit breaker versus human nuke.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I don't think there was, at least not given to us, enough situations that could say that the limit breaker would defeat nuke. So that was our biggest wild card. That's what had us kind of talking. But I mean, we're talking about somebody who killed themselves because they did all they could and then wanted to continue more. So
no, that's fair. As stated in the beginning of this video, this was a spite run. This is 100% a spite run.
But there was, I will admit though, there was a chance. Like, I think you probably had more of a chance than what you thought you did. Because, like, again, the limit breaker is the wild card in this situation. And if there had been more into that, then, this could have been a different outcome.
So what we're hearing is the Austin newbie needs a second season.
It does, though. It does. Because, like, I would have thrown it around more so we see him use it twice. The first time is against the dragon, and he one-shots the dragon. And it's a dragon, all right? Like, comparatively speaking, the closest thing you get to a nuke without having nuclear magic in a world is two things in this world. It's a dragon and Bronson. And Bronson, when he uses it, Bronson realizes the strain that it's taking on Rick, and that's inevitably what ends the fight. So it's not like he completely and utterly overwhelms Bronson with the limit breaker in the fight. We don't really get to see that. So it's not like I can throw that there like, oh, well, the absolute pinnacle of power in this world got completely overwhelmed by the limit breaker. He really didn't. He just he felt satisfied in his fight is what it boiled down to. But yeah, okay, well,
Which, speaking of which, that actually brought a weakness in the dragon, because you said he one hit him, but then turned around and had to sleep for a week.
Yeah.
So the one thing that Mitty didn't say about that dragon fight was after he had one hit the dragon, he had irreparably damaged the like lines of magic in his body that allowed him to control magic to such a point that now he can only use basic level spells, which is why whenever his teachers were teaching him, they taught him how to, like, the whole you'll never be able to master 1,000 spells, but if you take one spell and use it 1,000 times, you will master it to such a degree that no one else can. So he literally became a master of one with basic magic.
Yes, and I touched on it a little bit that like over time with training, he no longer gets knocked out for a week with using the ability.
That's right.
And it on the whole magic thing, it's kind of like if you casted Firebolt at level 20.
Yeah, but human nuke.
A basic level 1 cantrip.
Yeah.
That's all Rick kept saying. Human nuke.
I'm like, the only thing surviving the nuke is going to be cockroaches. So is he a cockroach in this? I don't think so.
Actually,
Bonk don't sound like a cockroach.
If you go by how I explained his training, yes, he would have. If Bronson was there, because like they killed him hundreds of times in training. Hundreds of times. And every time Bronson brought him back.
Yeah, Bronson has Revivify as a cantrip.
Yes.
So,
With help, though, we're talking solo.
Yeah, no, 100%. I went into the beginning of this knowing that I was not going to come out on top.
I should have come back in making you think you were.
No, because I wouldn't have believed you.
No.
I wouldn't have believed you.
He just said bonk.
Because I knew exactly where y'all would have gone if y'all would have said that Rick won. Because of the limitless limit break. That would have been the exact reason why. Because Mitty said that is unlimited.
Because it is.
Again, that was the wild card in this. That was our biggest discussion that we actually had back and forth. Because there was discussion. There was back and forth on it. We were not on the same page when we first went down there, so.
Being said, both animes are fantastic and I highly recommend watching them.
Yes. They're both, one's on Crunchyroll, the other, Eminence and Shadow, I think you can find it on High Dive.
They're both on High Dive.
They're both on High Dive? So they're both on High Dive, and you should totally go check them out. So, in conclusion, Shadow versus Rick, Shadow comes out on top. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We appreciate all of your support, all the love. Make sure you are leaving likes, you are throwing comments, you throw a follow, a subscribe here. Still new to this.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the bell so that you get notifications whenever the next videos get dropped.
And that's why Olivia is here.
Yep.
Again, to the guest judges, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here. To our normal judges, thank you so much for all the work that you put in. A lot goes on behind the scenes, and the judges help bring the chaos in so much. We will have links for the Hive Discord dropped in the description of the video. Come on over, join the family. Be awesome.
We got cookies.
We will have the link for my Twitch, MidiMidJT, down in the description. Raider, Stinky, if you guys have any projects that you would like to throw out, let's toss it out now.
I don't think we have too much going on. We do community game nights and community movie nights within the Discord. So if you like hanging out, watching movies, we tend to watch newer movies too. Get them early access as we can. So, yeah, come hang out. We're a good group of people. Okay, some of us are a good group of people.
Do you guys are on socials? Yes. Like you guys got Twitch. Where can we find you?
Yes, I am Raider B on Twitch and TikTok. So you definitely come hang out, say hi, drop a follow.
You can find me at StinkyPinky0091 on both Twitch and TikTok. I do myself a little variety of Call of Duty and some D&D related things.
All right,
We will find links in the description for everyone's Twitch, for everyone's socials that they wish to give us, and that's where they'll be.
Every week we'll try to have a different random guest from the community hop in and be a guest judge, or if you want to debate me, or if you want to debate Olivier, hop on in. We're both ready for the smoke all the time. I will catch you guys in the next one.